Once upon a time, there was a boy named Takeru Narahira who fell in love with a girl who appeared in his dreams. To reach her, he jumped off a mountain and landed in another world. But the girl denied knowing him. Still, our hero didn't give up. To prove his love, he sacrificed his life to save her. However, he discovered that in this world, he could die and come back to life. So, in today's story, we'll see how Takeru overcomes the upcoming challenges. The story begins with Takeru running for his life from some monsters. In this world, these monsters are called Oni. In his mind, Takeru thought, "Where the hell have I ended up?" Suddenly, one Oni attacked him from above. He dodged and ran in another direction, but there was no escape route in sight. Just then, a girl appeared, pulled him into the bushes, and the monsters left. Because she saved him so suddenly, her round cheeks were pressed against his face, and she told him to stay quiet. But then something moved in those round cheeks. Takeru was shocked. Inside was a rat with a fiery tail. The girl looked at the scared Takeru and laughed, saying, "They think you're scared of them." Takeru puffed up and said, "I wasn't scared. My hand was injured, that's why I was running. If I wasn't hurt, I'd have beaten them all." The girl replied, "Okay, then next time you save me. Tell me, if I'm in real danger, will you save me?" Seeing her beauty, Takeru melted and said, "Yes, absolutely." She smiled and said, "That's a promise now." As she started to leave, Takeru grabbed her hand and said, "Listen, I like you." But then, he woke up from the dream. There were two guys there saying, "You must have been having a good dream." Takeru was captured by a gang. They shouted, "How dare you enter our territory?" But Takeru asked, "Where did that girl go? Just met her again for the 10,099th time." One guy laughed, "Oh, so you were romancing a girl in your dream. Hey, your dream will stay a dream." Takeru got angry and kicked him, saying, "You think that was a dream? She was real." The other guy attacked, but Takeru dodged and countered, saying, "Listen up. This is the Narahira family's rule. Never give up." Even tied up, Takeru beat them all. Then he grabbed his scooter and rode off, thinking, "I will fulfill the promise I made to that girl. It wasn't a dream. We will meet again." He saw the injury mark from before still on his hand. Then he spotted the same rat from his dream running away. He chased it, but a truck came in front of the rat. To save it, Takeru jumped off the mountain again. When his eyes opened, the girl was standing there. Takeru said, "Finally, I've met you for the 2000th time." He introduced himself as the boy she had saved. But the audience watching her show yelled, "Hey, what are you doing here? You've ruined the show." The girl backed away. Takeru asked, "Don't you remember me? Don't you remember our vow to live and die together?" Then the rat fell on his head, making him lose balance and fall on her. She screamed loudly. Some people whispered, "What's this new drama?" They said it to a mysterious man who replied, "Yes, you're right. We need to deal with this." He used a device to bind Takeru. The man stepped forward and said, "This idiot ruined the whole show. Let's end this spectacle." Takeru yelled, "Who are you calling an idiot?" The girl called him a pervert and slapped him. Takeru sat holding his head thinking, "She hates me. What do I do now?" He asked the kid, "Where can I get what you're eating?" The kid told him. At the shop, the vendor said, "I told you, we use these coins here," showing the local currency. Takeru checked his phone and said, "Looks like my battery's dead." The vendor threw him out. Takeru grumbled, "Don't you know how to treat customers?" He asked someone, "Where are we?" The man said, "We're on Bojo Lane." Takeru asked, "Where is that in Tokyo?" The man was shocked and said, "What nonsense? This isn't Tokyo, it's Denji Hankyu." Takeru didn't understand what Denji Hankyu was. As he wandered, he realized this was the 21st century, and he had time traveled. Suddenly, an alert sounded. "Black mist will spread in 7 seconds." Everyone ran. A portal opened, releasing black mist. Takeru tried to escape, but the exit was closed. He saw a child fall and ran to save him. When the black mist spread, everyone turned into crystals. An Oni appeared and started breaking the crystals, killing the people inside. Takeru shouted, "Stop that!" The Oni attacked him, injuring but not killing him. Before he could react, someone saved him. It was a mecha with people inside wondering, how is this guy moving in black mist? They told him, "Stay here. We'll kill the Oni." At headquarters, they were shocked too. Takeru asked, "How are you talking?" And I don't need help, I can beat it myself. But the Oni returned. The pilot said, Yura, let's do it. Yura replied, yes, Asunaga. They charged an attack and killed the Oni. Later, the two pilots asked, are you okay? Takeru recognized their voices and asked, were you controlling that thing? They said yes. Takeru complained, why did you interfere? I could have beaten that monster alone. Yura snapped, you think you could beat it? Takeru got angry, but Asunaga intervened and said, you can't beat it unless you're an Onmyoji. Takeru asked, what's an Onmyoji? But some people took the pilots away and Takeru saw the child he saved was safe. As Takeru walked, the girl appeared again, saying, you ruined my show. VIPs were there. Takeru apologized. I don't know what's happening, but don't you know me? She said no, but seeing his injuries, she took him home and fed him. He ate like a starving man and told her everything. She said, your story sounds like you're from another world. Takeru was shocked. She added, I've never heard of someone walking in black mist or of Tokyo. The man next to him said, maybe he's an Oni. Takeru protested, no, I'm human. You only come in black mist and I'm here eating with you. The man explained, black mist brings monsters from another world called Oni. Onmyoji risk their lives to fight them, or our world will be destroyed. Takeru said, oh, so that's it. The girl suggested, an Onmyoji might know how to send you back. Takeru changed the subject. Where are the Onmyoji's 30 mar? The man said, you don't know how powerful they are. They're why we live safely. Their head is this guy. It was the man who bound Takeru. Takeru misread his name as Enboy Haraki. The girl corrected, no, it's Abeno Semi. That night, Takeru woke and went to a place where the girl was dancing. After her dance, he clapped, excellent, very good. I love your dance. She said, we really have met before? Takeru said yes and reminded her of his promise to protect her. She thanked him and said, I'm Suki Mia, what's your name? He replied, I'm Narahira Takeru. The next day a man arrived saying, because of yesterday's ruined show, the chief advisor is angry. You need to apologize in person. Come with me. Takeru stepped in. The show was ruined because of me, so don't blame Suki Mia. The man asked, who are you? Takeru said, I'm Takeru. If the chief advisor is angry, take me. I'll apologize. As he advanced, Abeno appeared and knocked him down with a technique. Takeru said, so you're Anvei Harai. Abeno corrected, you misread my name, and whispered to Suki Mia, don't worry. Everything will be fine. They took him away, but then black mist started, and Suki Mia's group was trapped. Takeru ran and entered before it closed. Inside, Yura and Asunaga were fighting an Oni. Takeru looked around and saw Suki Mia's crystal. The Oni overpowered them and threw them far. It charged a deadly attack. Asunaga saw Suki Mia and shielded her. The Oni attacked again, but Takeru jumped in with a dagger, pushing it back with all his strength. The Oni grabbed and crushed him, leaving him half dead. But his body healed. The Oni charged another attack. At headquarters, they wondered what to do. Abeno said, it seems he hasn't given up yet. Takeru stood and said, Narahira family's rule, never give up until your last breath. A strange aura emerged from him. The Oni attacked, but Takeru dodged fast and punched it. When the energy cleared, Takeru was in a new form, looking like an Oni himself. He said, come on, I'll show you. They fought. Takeru said, I promised to protect Suki Mia-san. I won't let you hurt her. With full power, he killed the Oni. Everyone was shocked he defeated it in one attack. Takeru went to Suki Mia, but the Oni's attack started under him. They shouted, the Oni's core isn't destroyed. The Oni emerged and stabbed Takeru, breaking Suki Mia's crystal. Takeru said, this can't be. Something unexpected happened. His eyes opened and he was back in time. Seeing Suki Mia alive, he hugged her. You're alive. I'm so happy, she screamed. Her companion said, what are you doing? Takeru said, Vada-san, look, Suki Mia is screaming suddenly. Vada asked, who are you? Takeru said, don't you remember? Asunaga appeared from behind the stage and bound him, saying, don't move. Suki Mia asked, Asunaga-kun, what were you doing backstage? Asunaga said, it was a coincidence. Takeru said, "Suki Mia-san, it's me, Narahira Takeru," she said. "But I don't know you." Takeru was shocked. At Onmyoji headquarters, Abeno told his assistants, "Go to the advisor's room." They heard Takeru yelling, "Let me out!" "I've known Suki Mia-san for a long time." Asunaga said, "Shut up. You scared Suki Mia-san." Takeru said, "But we ate together." Asunaga said, "You must have dreamed it." "Suki Mia-san often comes in my dreams too." Takeru said, "What are you thinking?" Abeno asked, "Why so much noise?" Takeru said, "Araki, you're here." His assistant said, "His name is Semi-sama." Takeru said, "Araki, you remember me, right?" Sunaga said, "You can't talk to the head like that." Abeno asked, "Have we met before?" Takeru said, "You really don't remember?" Asunaga said, "You don't need to talk to him. He's been spouting nonsense." Takeru said, "I'm telling the truth. I fought an Oni in Black Mist, but it defeated me. I died, but then I was back on stage." Asunaga said, "Fighting an Oni is impossible unless you're an Onmyoji." Takeru said, "No, I defeated it." He told Abeno, "If you don't believe me, test my power. Let's have a match." But he couldn't activate his powers despite trying. Yura said, "See, he's just spouting nonsense." Abeno said, "I thought the fight would be interesting, but his story is fake." Yura kicked him, saying, "Respect the Onmyoji." Abeno said, "My mood is ruined. Let's ask him some questions and let him go." Takeru ran out screaming, "I don't understand what's happening. Why doesn't anyone remember me?" He passed the stage and said, "But this place isn't decorated yet. That means I'm back one day before they died." Suki Mia appeared. "You're the boy from this morning." Takeru asked, "Suki Mia-san, how long has this stage been here?" She said it was built 100 years ago and is being rebuilt now. Takeru was shocked. She added, "It's rebuilt for every Centennial Pandemonium, where the Emperor's chief advisor watches the performance first." Takeru remembered and asked, "When is the chief advisor coming?" Suki Mia said, "Advisor, not revisor. In about half a month, 15 days. Takeru said, "Oh, that's it. Thank you so much, Suki Mia-san. This time, I swear I'll save you." He left thinking, "I'm back before the advisor took Suki Mia-san. That's why no one remembers me. This time, I'll save everyone. For that, I need insane power." He returned to headquarters and said, "I've been waiting for you, High-Reki." Abeno said, "How did you get in?" Takeru said, "Teach me the on-me technique." Abeno's assistant said, "Do you know who this is?" Takeru said, "Aren't you curious about my power? I defeated an Oni. Mix my power with on-me technique and see what incredible strength we get. Don't you think it's interesting?" Abeno said, "Your overconfidence makes me want to try it. But I'll wait 1 week. If you don't show that incredible thing by then, you'll be punished for all your rudeness." Takeru said, "Deal done." His classes started, teaching on-me technique with 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. At first, Takeru listened, but he got bored and said, "Stop, teach me to run the Shikigami." The girl gave him a puppet and said, "You have to move this puppet to run Shikigami." She demonstrated, putting spiritual power in it, and it moved. Takeru tried until evening but failed. Asunaga arrived. "We let you go. Why are you back? What's bothering you so much?" Takeru said, "If I tell you, you won't believe me. Forget it. I need to become strong enough to protect the precious thing I want to save." Asunaga helped, saying, "I'll teach you to control Shikigami, but you'll have to endure pain." Takeru said, "Okay, give it your all. I'll bear it." Asunaga activated his powers and poured them into Takeru, making him scream, and repeated it. At Asunaga's home, he looked at something and said, "What does Takeru want?" Takeru said, "Hey, you're a Suki Mia-san fan too," holding her statue. Asunaga said, "What are you doing?" "Put it down." "How did you get in?" Takeru said, "I have no home, so I thought I'd stay here." Asunaga said, "You want to dump your responsibility on me?" Takeru blackmailed, "There are others who know me, like Suki Mia-san. Maybe I should stay there." Asunaga stopped him. "Stay here." Takeru said, "If you insist, I'll stay. As thanks, I'll make food." He cooked and Asunaga invited Yura. Yura asked, "Why did you call me?" Takeru said, "It's a Gahuja party. Eat it hot." Yura said, "Food made by someone like you can't be good." They ate and loved it. Takeru was happy. Yura packed some and said, "Only the food was good. That doesn't mean I'm happy with you." Takeru said, "I didn't make it for that anyway." Asunaga asked, "By the way, who do you want to save?" Takeru said, "Suki Mia-san." He told everything. Asunaga said, "So, you time-traveled and Suki Mia-san is going to die. That's hard to believe, but you won't save her." "I will." The next day, Asunaga and Takeru practiced hand-to-hand combat. As Takeru attacked, Asunaga used solid body technique and explained it. After 3 days, Takeru could control some spiritual power. Asunaga said, "This is Riki, the solid body technique for attack and defense." Takeru said, "So now I can use techniques." Asunaga said, "Not so easy. It took 3 days for this. Full techniques take a year." Yura arrived and beckoned him. She asked, "How long will you hang with that idiot?" "You were planning to become 5-star, Asunaga said. "I'm still planning that. I learned from Takeru too, so no time wasted." Yura got angry. "You have other work. You had something to tell me." Alarms blared, black mist. Yura and Asunaga were called. Takeru said, "Wait, I'll go too. My power can help defeat it easily." Asunaga said, "You have no talent. Stay quiet and hear." Takeru attacked, but Asunaga knocked him out in one hit. Takeru woke and asked, "What did you do to me?" "What about the black mist?" Asunaga said, "Yura and I handled it." Takeru asked, "Why won't you let me fight?" Asunaga said, "Come with me," and took him to a place. Takeru asked, "What is this place?" Asunaga said, "A black mist outbreak happened here. I fought an Oni with my senpai, but my mistake stopped our Shikigami. My senpai pushed me out to save me and fought alone, dying. When someone loses in an outbreak, the place ends up like this. An Onmyoji's duty is to risk life to save others, so never insist on going into black mist again." And like that, 3 or 4 days passed. Abeno's assistant said, "2 days gone and the boy hasn't come for training." Abeno said, "Seems I was wrong about his talent." But the other assistant detected a black mist outbreak. Everyone ran, but Takeru stood there. Yura and Asunaga entered in their Shikigami. The Oni overpowered them. It attacked powerfully, throwing Yura out. Asunaga's Shikigami leaked black mist. Asunaga charged a desperate attack. The Oni threw its attack. Takeru jumped in, canceling both attacks and throwing the Oni far, saying, "Don't interfere, Asunaga." Everyone was shocked he moved in black mist. Asunaga asked, "Wait, did you use solid body? How was it so powerful?" Takeru said, "I used it for the first time." "How would I know?" Asunaga was stunned. Takeru said, "Your on-me technique is amazing too, but I want to join you." Asunaga said, "Okay, get in. We'll defeat it together." Takeru poured spiritual power and entered. Everyone was more shocked. Takeru transformed his half and defeated the Oni in one attack, saying, "Haraki, you saw that." They exited. Takeru said, "See, Yura, I took your place and defeated the Oni." Yura punched him down. Takeru yelled, "Ouch, that hurts." Abeno said, "Fighting among Onmyoji is forbidden." Yura said, "He's not an Onmyoji." Abeno said, "Your power and Onmyoji techniques combined are extremely dangerous. Narahira Takeru-kun, do you want to become an official Onmyoji?" Takeru was shocked. Takeru was brought before 2 guys to fight. They mocked him. "This newcomer wants to fight us?" Takeru said, "You think I can't beat you? I'll beat you easily." The fight started and they gave a good fight. But the other guy launched a deadly attack. Asunaga was with Takeru and stopped it in mid-air with a technique. Takeru sped forward and attacked their Shikigami, eliminating the mocking guy. They lost. His fat partner said, "Iruka, are you okay?" Iruka was unconscious. Yura came. "Kazeki, you and I will run a Shikigami and fight them." Abeno said, "Now this will be fun." Yura and Takeru fought head-on. Asunaga blocked Yura's every attack. Asunaga attacked, and Yura redirected it with full power. But Asunaga deactivated the Shikigami and they exited. Takeru asked, "Is it over?" Asunaga said, "This was a fake fight against Iruka and Kazeki. No one else should interfere." They left. Later, Asunaga and Takeru talked about Takeru's powers. Takeru said, "I don't know why my dark punch didn't work this time." Yura was sitting there and left seeing them. Asunaga called, Your pair with Kazeki was good. I wouldn't mind if you pair with him. Yura said, You like Takeru so much now? I think you'll fight better with Kazeki. Asunaga said, Wake up. If that's the case, attack me lethally and don't hold back, idiot. She left. Later, Takeru made food for Suki Mia and her group. They thanked him. Takeru said, I was making it for myself anyway. Vada said, I was surprised when Asunaga took you. The girl asked, Where is Asunaga-san? Takeru said, He said he's training for 5-star. Suki Mia said, So he's going for the highest rank. You know, 5-star Onmyoji have big status. Takeru said, I became Onmyoji to protect you. Vada said, Your intent is one-sided. Suki Mia said, I like how you say things straightforwardly. Takeru looked at her and remembered her death. He asked, Listen, will you do one thing for me? The chief advisor is coming tomorrow to see your show, so the next day stay with me. They said, but there are more shows. Suki Mia said, I can't promise. Takeru begged. Suki Mia said, Oni are bad. They come suddenly, cause chaos, and destroy everything. I won't give up because of Oni. I dance to make Denji Henkyu people happy. That's my purpose in life, so she couldn't stay. Takeru said, No problem. Even if we're not together, I'll protect you. The next day at headquarters, Abeno said, Today we'll test you. Asunaga will hit you with a real 5-star thunder attack. They were shocked. Asunaga said, Real. Abeno said, So powerful it could kill him, and Takeru will try to stop it with his power. Don't worry, if he's dying, Sino will save him. Asunaga said, In other words, Takeru has to risk his life to use full power. Abeno asked, Will you do it? Takeru said, Yes. They got ready. Asunaga hit with 5-star thunder. Takeru tried to stop it with his punch, but his hand burned. Abeno said, Sino, save him. Sino used a technique with black smoke. But Takeru said, Don't interfere, I can do this, and stop the thunder. His hand healed somehow. Yura was very shocked and walked away muttering. She heard Abeno and his assistant talking. Abeno said, I'm not sure, but his power is great. I think I'll make him one. The assistant said, You mean make him 5-star? He shushed her, noticing Yura heard, and Yura ran off. Later, Takeru and others went to the show. Takeru asked Asunaga, Asunaga, what are Oni? Asunaga said, What do you mean? Takeru said, I'm thinking, what do they want? Asunaga said, I heard Oni travel through black mist to this world and take humans and things to eat. That's why Yura and my dream is to become 5-star and protect Denji Henkyu. Suki Mia's show started. Asunaga cried, She's so cute. Takeru remembered the black mist from before, so he went and told everyone to run. No one listened. Asunaga said, What are you doing? But alarms blared for black mist. It started. The child fell again and Takeru saved him. At headquarters, Asunaga told Abeno, Takeru detected the black mist before it spread, and he claims he's from the past. I doubted, but now I can believe him. Meanwhile, Takeru controlled a doll, thinking, Now Suki Mia will be saved. But Yura arrived. Come hand-to-hand combat with me. He said, I'm practicing, Yura threatened. Let's see who's stronger. Takeru said, Then I can't back down. They went to the terrace. Takeru thought, Black mist is later, so I need to end this fight fast. He asked, Are you doing this because Asunaga paired with me? Yura said, No, I told you, I want to see who's stronger. Takeru said, Okay, but you won't use on-me technique, right? Yura said, Absolutely. Whoever falls on knees or back loses. Takeru said, Got it, let's fight. The fight started with Yura dominating. Meanwhile, Asunaga watched Suki Mia's practice happily but said, Wait, there's something more important today. The girl beside him said, Takeru-kun said the same. Vada arrived. The chief advisor sent a message. He liked Suki Mia's dance, so he wants to meet her now. On the terrace, Yura attacked, saying, I need to learn everything to equal Asunaga. But she got distracted. Takeru attacked, knocking her down, saying, Narahira family's rule, don't get distracted in a fight. Yura said, You're right. These mistakes made Asunaga fed up with me. Takeru explained, You only see what's in front. You don't know how things work or what he feels. If you want to know, ask him directly. Yura smiled. Alarms blared for black mist. Takeru checked and saw black mist started, with Suki Mia running. "Takeru, save me!" Takeru said, "I thought you were on stage." A wall appeared. The headquarters ship arrived, taking Takeru to join Yura in Shikigami. They fought the Oni inside. The Oni opened gates and attacked. Takeru said, "It did this before." The Oni attacked Suki Mia, distracting Takeru. The Oni opened many gates, attacking from all sides, troubling Yura. The Oni jumped for the final attack, but Takeru put his hand through a gate, piercing the Oni's stomach, saying, "I knew your technique," and crushed its core. Black mist cleared, and Suki Mia was alive. But Takeru's power went out of control, creating clones. Yura exited and tried to wake him. The power possessed the Shikigami, destroying the city. Abeno arrived, summoned his Shikigami. "Takeru, your enemy is me." Dark aura came from Takeru. Abeno said, "Have you lost control?" Takeru attacked. Abeno blocked. "This is stronger than Shikigami." Takeru damaged the city. Abeno said, "I must end this quickly, or the city will be destroyed." He trapped the Shikigami in a shield and chanted, normalizing Takeru. Later, Takeru woke. "Where is Suki Mia-san?" The Onmyoji with the girl went into attack position. The girl said, "Seems you're conscious now, so everyone come in." Suki Mia, Asunaga, and Yura entered. Takeru asked, "Suki Mia-san, are you okay?" She said, "Yes, I'm fine. They told me you saved me." Takeru said, "I promised." Suki Mia said, "Thank you for saving my life." Yura said, "No time for celebration." They took him to the terrace, showing the destroyed city part. Yura said, "If Semi-sama hadn't stopped you, you'd have caused more damage." They took him to Abeno. Abeno asked, "Could you use this power before?" Takeru said, "No, only since I came to this world and it happened suddenly." Abeno said, "I want to use your power in the next Centennial Pandemonium." Takeru said, "But it's dangerous." Abeno said, "Dangerous or not, it's for our victory." Takeru asked, "What's Centennial Pandemonium?" His assistant explained, "Every 100 years, Oni world connects to human world. Centennial Pandemonium is an event where we enter Oni world to kill the Oni god and his companions. We choose 2 5-star pairs to summon the ultimate Shikigami." Abeno added, "Denji Henkyu hasn't been destroyed for thousands of years because we always win." Takeru asked, "Are you one of the 5 stars?" Abeno said, "No, I need to be connected to Oni world, so that's my role. I'm choosing someone else for my place. We've noticed Oni have increased power in the last 100 years, so we need big power for the next Centennial Pandemonium. Takeru, will you become a 5-star? Takeru was shocked and told Asunaga. Asunaga, "Sydney, they're making you 5-star? Takeru said, "Yes, but I asked for time to think." Asunaga spit his tea. "What nonsense, do you know how honorable 5-star is?" Takeru said, "But it's not for someone who barely learned Onmyoji techniques. What if my power goes out of control again?" Asunaga said, "Tell me your future plan. Are you going back to your old world?" Takeru said, "I don't know how. Anyway, there's one thing I must do." The next day, Takeru apologized to the city people. "Forgive me for yesterday." They scolded, "Don't you know how to run Shikigami? You ruined the Onmyoji's reputation." Luckily, no one died. Abeno arrived. "Forgive me too, I took responsibility." He bowed and apologized. They said, "Don't do that." Abeno said, "Then let me help." They repaired homes together. Takeru asked, "Can't you use your technique?" Abeno said, "I'm tired from yesterday's fight. Anyway, I like working like a normal person. I love the city people, they gave me strength for thousands of years." Takeru was shocked. "You've been alive for thousands of years?" Abeno said, "Yes." Takeru asked, "Does everyone live that long here?" Abeno said, "No, only I can. That's why I live happily like normal humans." He told everyone, "Repair done." They thanked him. Abeno said, "Takeru, I have a way to control your powers." Suki Mia arrived. "Takeru." He ran to her. "Yes. What happened?" She asked, "Are you free tomorrow?" Takeru said, "Yes." She said, "Good. Many shops open for Centennial Festival. Will you come see them with me?" Takeru said, "Together?" She said, "Yes, to thank you for saving me." Takeru said, "So it's a date. I won't miss it." Someone was hiding, listening. The next evening at the festival, Suki Mia said, "You're late," pouting. Takeru said, "You look so cute in that outfit." He apologized. "Sorry, the crowd is bigger than I thought. I got lost." She said, "Your punishment is to win that for me." Takeru said, "Easy." He aimed, but someone used a technique to harden it so it didn't fall. Takeru said, "Why didn't it fall?" It was Asunaga. Yura asked, "Why did you call me?" Asunaga said, "There are many people here. If I came alone, it'd look weird, and I don't want Suki Mia and Takeru together." Yura said, "Don't say that." Asunaga said, "Your outfit looks good on you." She blushed. "It's not like that makes me happy." Takeru arrived. "I knew it was you." Asunaga acted, "What a coincidence. We're here too." They took photos together. Takeru said, "This exists in this world too?" Asunaga said, "I'll keep it close to my heart." Suki Mia said, "You should have told us you were coming." Asunaga said, "But I feel like a third wheel." Takeru repeated, "Third wheel, third wheel." Suki Mia asked, "Are we interfering between you two? Are you a couple?" Asunaga panicked. No, we're not." The city people said, "You guys are having fun." Takeru apologized again, but this time, "Don't apologize. You helped us a lot. Forgive us for yesterday. I heard from my sister you saved our niece." Takeru remembered saving the girl from Black Mist. They sat eating and laughing. Suki Mia said to Takeru, "I think you have many friends in your world." Takeru said, "Do you think so? But tell me, isn't Centennial dangerous? Is holding a festival okay?" Suki Mia said, "I admit Centennial Pandemonium is life or death for Onmyoji, but they've never lost in thousands of years. All this is to boost their confidence." Her companions arrived. "We've been looking for you." Suki Mia asked, "What's wrong?" Macy Chandvada said, "Our team was chosen to dance for Centennial Pandemonium." Takeru asked about it. Asunaga explained, "During the fight, the whole city supports us." The event was ending, so Suki Mia danced at the last time. But Takeru on the terrace thought, "Is it okay to have this much fun?" Suki Mia came. "What's wrong, Takeru? Not having fun?" Takeru said, "No, I'm thinking if our fun is right." She asked, "Do you want to go back to your old world?" Takeru said, "Even if I want, what would I do there? No one waits for me. My parents died long ago. I'm the last in my family. People don't accept me because I follow my family's rules, and I won't give them up because they make me feel my parents are with me. Then I came here, made good friends who stand to fight with me. It gives me strength. There are people here who need me, and I found someone I like. Narahira family's rule. Don't get used to being alone. Now I understand it. So, I'll stay here a few more days." Suki Mia said, "Feeling needed is great. I can give my best because my dance makes people happy. I'm happy you came here, promised to save me, saved me, and are still here. It feels really good, Takeru." On the other side, Yura and Asunaga. Yura said, "Aren't you interrupting?" Asunaga said, "Leave tonight." The next day, Abeno said, "Now we'll make 2 5-star pairs. The chosen ones, come forward." Takeru and Asunaga came forward. The people of Denji Hen watched live. Suki Mia said, "You can do it, Takeru." Takeru thought, "They told me a way to control my powers." They extended their hands, light emerged, and they became 5-star Onmyoji. Asunaga went to Yura, who was crying. He said, "We've fought together for years, and I wanted us to." Yura said, "If either of you can't handle it, I'll stand by and take one's place. So don't die there." Asunaga said, "Yes, I won't." That night, the city people evacuated because the great Shikigami was to be summoned. The event started with Suki Mia dancing, boosting their power. All Onmyoji summoned the great Shikigami, huge in size, and Takeru and Asunaga entered it. Suki Mia's dance ended. She said, "Now it's on you two." Asunaga said, "As planned, you control it first." The Oni god arrived and Takeru attacked. Asunaga used gravity pressure to drop it. Takeru saw many crystals and asked, "What are these?" The Oni god stood and advanced. Takeru attacked continuously. Small Oni interfered, but Takeru kicked them away. Yura noticed, the Oni god is using 7-step technique, but Oni can't use it. She told everyone, if it completes 7 steps, it can launch a deadly attack. It did, charging a punch. Takeru said, "I won't let that happen," and attacked with power. The Oni god attacked too. Both attacks were deadly, but the Oni god's punch was stronger, cracking the great Shikigami. Asunaga said, "I'll handle from here," and ejected Takeru. Takeru yelled, "What are you doing?" Asunaga didn't listen and self-destructed, but it didn't affect and the Oni god crushed Asunaga. Then it attacked Yura and others, killing them. Takeru ran, "Haruki, do something, please." Beno said, "I'm sad to say, but Denji Henkyu is gone now." Takeru said, "What do you mean?" The Oni god attacked Abeno too. The pressure threw Takeru far, a rod piercing his stomach. He saw Suki Mia and everyone dead. I failed again. His power activated and he was back on stage. He screamed loudly. Suki Mia asked, "Are you okay?" Takeru cried, "Forgive me, Suki Mia-san. I couldn't save you again. It's all because of Haruki." Gravity pressure hit him again. Asunaga from behind the stage said, "Don't move. You're an intruder." Takeru said, "Asunaga, go get Haruki. I need to teach that guy a lesson." Asunaga didn't understand the nonsense but took him to the others. Yura said, "You were so naive to bring him here." Asunaga said, "He has the diviner on, so I thought he's one of us." Abeno asked, "Tell me, who are you?" Takeru said, "Why is Henkyu destroyed?" Abeno got serious. "Sorry, what are you saying?" Takeru said, "You said that then. So what did you mean?" Beno's assistant said, "You can't be rude to Semi-sama." Abeno came forward. "I don't remember saying that." Takeru said, "Because you'll say it in the future. You said that and left Asunaga, Yura, and all Onmyoji, all of Henkyu's people. Did you not say you want to save Henkyu?" Everyone said, "What does he want to say?" Takeru said, "Now I doubt you don't want to save Henkyu." Abeno said, "My wish is for Denji Henkyu to always progress, that's all. So I'd never want bad for it." Takeru got angry and attacked, but his assistant threw him away and attacked him. Everyone thought he died, but he wasn't there, so they searched. An order was issued to capture him. Takeru sat in a hidden alley. "No one listens to me." He remembered if the chief advisor came for Suki Mia. Then black mist outbreak started. He tried to go but remembered everything and fell trembling. Shikigami arrived. "Isn't this the guy who came?" Takeru said, "Iruka, is that you?" But it ignored and entered black mist. A notification came on Iruka's device showing a screen where Iruka saw the Oni as his father. "Don't kill me anymore, father," and froze. The Oni killed him, destroying the area. Takeru was thrown far, head bleeding. When he woke, Suki Mia was checking his temperature. He blushed. "Suki Mia." Her companion said, "His face looks better after 3 days of sleep." "I'll bring hot water." Takeru was shocked. "I slept 3 days?" He asked, "What am I doing here?" Suki Mia said, "I saw you injured on the road, so I brought you here." He thanked her. She said, "Messi-chan took care of you more. I had to go for dance." Takeru asked, "When was your performance?" She said, "Day before yesterday." He said, "So the chief advisor came yesterday?" She said, "Yes, but we postponed, saying the troupe got sick. You." "I refused to care for you." He blushed. She asked, "How did you know the chief advisor called me?" He said, "I saw it in a dream." She laughed. "Weird dream." He thought, this time the future changed and Iruka and Kazeki died. He got angry. Suki Mia applied medicine to his wounds. Takeru asked, "Why are you doing this for me?" "You don't even know me." She said, "When you came on stage suddenly, you were crying for me. You said you couldn't save me again." Takeru said, "Yes." She said, "I can't forget that." "What was it?" Takeru said, "Suki Mia-san, I'll tell you everything. I saw Denji Henkyu destroyed." She asked, in a dream. He said, no, it wasn't a dream. The truth is I'm repeating the same time over and over. I go back in time when I die and start again. And like that, Denji Henkyu was destroyed once. Forgive me, who would believe such a story suddenly? Suki Mia said, yes, you're right. But what's the harm in trying? I think those tears you shed for me were real. He was happy. Meanwhile, they mourned Iruka and Kazeki's death. Yura said, let's defeat those Oni. Asunaga said, yes. At Abeno's, his assistant said, the boy's mental balance is fine now. I don't know why Suki Mia saved him, but do we need to arrest him? Abeno said, he tried to kill me, but I want to know his motive. Alarms for black mist. Takeru panicked seeing it. Later it turned out Oni won again. Suki Mia said, yes, and I heard more damage this time. Takeru asked, Asunaga and Yura weren't there, right? She said, don't worry. Asunaga told me. Takeru thought, things are getting worse. He remembered Abeno saying Oni increased power in the last century. They can't win Centennial Pandemonium like this. At headquarters, they mourned again. It was the same Oni as last time. Takeru trained to get stronger. He told Suki Mia, I can't muster courage to enter Black Mist because I'm still scared of Oni. Remembering everything, he said, my power can't match the Oni god, so I need to get stronger fast. If not, I can't do anything. He punched the bag furiously. Suki Mia stopped his hand. I don't know if this will help. They sat and she said, do you know people say I have a natural dance talent that comes once in 1,000 years? Takeru said yes. She said, but how do I look? Like a normal girl, right? Takeru said, no, you're very beautiful. She said, that's not what I meant, sorry. She said, I get scared before every performance. Fear is normal for any girl. What helps in such times is this. Takeru said, a mask. Suki Mia said, you know, a mask has strange power. When I wear it and focus, I become who I am, but not me. The 1,000-year dancer awakens in me. To awaken that power, I focus on the area behind my navel and adjust my breathing. She danced to show him. After, he said, you looked completely different. She said, I've used it for practice since childhood. If you like, try it once, Takeru said. Are you sure? She said yes. He wore it and breathed. She asked, any difference? His nose bled. It has your scent. She said, so no difference. Meanwhile, they looked at pictures where the Oni killed people. Asunaga said, so the Oni uses freezing skill. Abeno said, if it was just freezing, others wouldn't lose. Must be something else. He played a video where an Onmyoji girl screamed, not on my face, don't cut me. Yura said, Sopon was strong, but her weakness was insects. In childhood, an insect bit her face, swelling it, and she feared permanent swelling. Another video, the partner said, don't stab me with that needle. Abeno understood. It's a mental attack using their fears to freeze and kill them. So high chance it'll come in the next Black Mist outbreak. I can't use my power for Centennial Pandemonium, so I leave it to you. Please win. They said, yes, sir. Takeru trained with the mask. Suki Mia asked, any feeling yet? Takeru said, I don't understand because nothing changed much inside me. I don't know if I can do anything in Black Mist. Suki Mia encouraged, if you keep practicing, the Narihira, Takeru that comes once in 1,000 years will come down and give you power. Maybe. Takeru said, yes, I got it. A paper CCTV came and Abeno watched them. They look so good, but who are they? He told his assistant, Sino now. She said, yes, and her eyes did something, starting black mist around them. Takeru said, Suki Mia-san, please leave quickly. She said, okay, but what about you? Takeru said, I was thinking of entering Black Mist and it came to me. It feels like it's challenging me to fight. Black mist spread and the Oni arrived. Takeru shouted, you're the one who killed Iruka and Kazeki. I won't spare you. He advanced to attack, but his power didn't work. The Oni used mind attack, making him remember old things and freeze. But someone said, flame, burning the Oni. It was Asunaga and Yura. Asunaga was shocked Takeru moved freely. Asunaga charged his deadliest attack and threw it. The Oni deflected. Takeru realized the ice was from fear. The Oni mind-attacked them too, freezing them. Takeru pushed it back before they fully froze. But the Oni attacked him again, freezing him. Remembering Suki Mia's words, he thought, I need to bring out the 1,000-year Takeru in me. And started. The Oni attacked. Everyone thought he died. But as smoke cleared, Takeru was in a new form, punching the Oni far. In this form, he looked deadly. He punched fast. The Oni tried to stop but stepped back and used mind attack, setting Takeru on fire. Takeru said, if you keep doing this, come on, and opened a portal, pulling out a weapon. He attacked again. The Oni blocked with its sword, but the weapon pierced through and hit its head, killing it in one blow. Asunaga and Yura came. How are you doing this? Who are you? Takeru said, this time I won't let you die. They didn't understand the nonsense. Someone said, this is the guy moving in black mist. We need to capture him. But Takeru left. Meanwhile, Abeno arrived at Suki Mia's. She said, what are you doing here? Abeno said, I want to talk. They went inside. She asked, so, what do you want to talk about? Abeno said, I was thinking, why not prepare your team for the next Centennial Pandemonium dance? Suki Mia got happy. I'll tell everyone. She started leaving. He stopped her. I have one more thing. It's about Narihira Takeru. How much do you know about his abilities? She asked. What do you mean? Abeno said, the power he says moves through time. How did he get it? She asked. But tell me, is Takeru okay? I can't believe he fought in black mist. Abeno said, I know he stayed here. His ability improved a lot in black mist today. Does the mask you gave him have something to do with it? Suki Mia said, no, that mask is from my childhood. It has no power to boost anyone's ability. Abeno said, world withal. How much do you know about it? Let me tell you, world withal means many identical worlds. Suki Mia said, how can a world be withalled? Abeno made her unconscious with his ability and used a technique to detect lies. He asked her name. She said, my name is Suki Mia. He asked when she met Narihira Takeru. She said, 6 days ago I saw him injured on Badai Street. All true. He asked about world withal. She said, I really don't know. Then Takeru arrived. Haraki, what did you do to Suki Mia-san? Abeno said, I was just talking. Takeru attacked with nearby items, causing smoke. Abeno left. When she woke, Takeru asked, what did Haraki do? She said, Semi-sama, but remembered, Semi-sama chose me for the dance. Takeru was shocked. Meanwhile, Sino said to Abeno, dinner is ready. Come, let's eat together. He said, no thanks, looking very serious. Takeru asked, what did Haraki do? She said, he just told me I have to dance for the next Centennial Pandemonium. Takeru said, besides that? Suki Mia said, I don't remember after that. Takeru said, it doesn't matter to you. Don't trust him at all, he's not a good person. Suki Mia said, but he looks good, but I've heard rumors he experiments on people in Denji Henkyu. Takeru was shocked. Suki Mia added, and I heard it started after he became head of Bureau of Onmyo. That's when Black Mist and Centennial Pandemonium started. Takeru said, that sounds very dangerous, please don't meet him again. Suki Mia said, it's not easy now. I'm chosen as dancer, but I believe I'll be fine. No matter what, you'll save. Right? Now that I've awakened you inside, you're very strong. Takeru said, yes, it's all because of you. This mask gave me power, and named the form Yasa Mode. Suki Mia held his hand and recited a poem. He asked, what was all that? She said, it's a charm because your life matters too. He thanked her. Meanwhile, Asunaga and Yura were chosen for Centennial Pandemonium. People said, Asunaga and Yura are chosen. Takeru started leaving. They asked, where are you going? Takeru asked Suki Mia, can you do one thing for me? Then Asunaga's home scene. Asunaga arrived. I was chosen. Takeru said, that's great for you. Asunaga was shocked. What are you doing here? Takeru said, I've been here many times. Asunaga asked, Why did you come? Takeru said, To celebrate. Asunaga said, Like I'll eat something made by you. But smelling it, he stopped. Takeru said, Smells good, right? Let's invite Yura too. Asunaga said, You think I'll listen to you? Your arrest order is lifted, but you attacked Semisama. But Takeru gave him a hairband. This is a gift, a hair tie Suki Mia-san used. His intent changed and he called Yura. Takeru said, To celebrate becoming 5-star. Yura said, Will we eat food made by him? Takeru apologized and asked Yura, What's your motive giving us treats? Takeru said, Don't say that. Don't. You remember we fought together? Yura said, You must have dreamed it. Takeru said, Forget that. Let's forget old things and become friends. Asunaga said, What do you mean? Takeru said, Forget it. Eat first. They ate and loved it, finishing everything. Takeru told everything. Asunaga said, So, you mean? You repeated the same time many times and have participated in Centennial Pandemonium before. Takeru said, Yes. Yura said, So, you're from another world, but you have the bellflower star mark on your hand. Takeru asked, What's bellflower star? Asunaga explained, Denji Henkyu's people get this mark at birth to identify them. Takeru said, So it's not an injury? But I got it when I first came to this world? Takeru said, Forget that. Let me tell you about Centennial Pandemonium. Beware of Oni God's 7-stepper. They were shocked. When did Oni God start using 7-stepper? Yura said, There's no record of that before. Takeru said, This time it uses it to win fast. And not just Oni God, many Oni will interfere with your attacks. But don't worry, I'll handle them. Yura asked, How? He said, You've seen I can move in Blacklist, so no need to worry. But I'm not sure if things will be exactly the same this time. But what's the harm in being prepared? He left with dishes. Yura asked, What do you think, Asunaga? Could his stories be true? Asunaga said, It sounds definitely unreal, but he's not lying. Yura said, Because you got a gift? He said, No, his gehuja was great. Yura said, Hey. Asunaga said, Anyone who cooks so well can't be bad. Before Centennial Pandemonium, an event was held where people were very happy and having fun. Then straight to Centennial Pandemonium scene, where Suki Mia was dancing. Scene cut to Abeno's room. Takeru arrived. So what are you doing? His assistant said, What are you doing here? Takeru said, I came to see what Haruki does during Centennial Pandemonium. Abeno said, I create the path to Oni World, which only I can do. Takeru said, I don't know what you're planning, but I'll ensure we win this Centennial Pandemonium. Abeno said, Yes, it could happen. I hope we win this time. Takeru said, What do you mean, this time? Can you jump through time too? He cut him off. It's time to start. I need to hurry or we'll lose before fighting. Takeru left quickly. His assistant asked, Are you sure we shouldn't stop him? Abeno said, This Centennial Pandemonium will decide if he brings good luck or destruction to Denji Henkyu. He inserted his sword, creating the ultimate Shikigami, and black mist appeared too. Yura and Asunaga entered it. On the other side, Oni God arrived. Asunaga said, We should follow Takeru's advice and attack first. Yura advanced and attacked. Meanwhile, Takeru hurried forward. This time we must stop Oni God no matter what, and activated Yasa mode, defeating Oni continuously. Asunaga attacked Oni God constantly. It did a deadly attack, but it didn't affect much, and it advanced its steps. Asunaga said, I won't let you complete 7 steps. And as it stepped, it fell because a barrier created a formation on its foot. The Oni God screamed loudly. Asunaga said, Seems someone is sending power to Oni God from behind too. Takeru got worried. What will they do now? Asunaga pushed him back. Takeru, don't underestimate us. Takeru saw energy coming to Oni God from behind, like to great Shikigami. Meanwhile, Abeno and his assistant recorded everything. Takeru headed toward where energy was sent to Oni God. Oni interfered, but he defeated them. He saw Oni God overpowering them. So he entered Oni world quickly. As he entered, his power weakened. On the other side, Oni God dropped them. Abeno's assistant said, he's advancing. He'll launch a deadly attack. But Takeru defeated those sending power to Oni God from behind. So Oni God's power ended. Asunaga took advantage and launched a deadly attack, destroying the core in one blow. Everyone cheered they won Centennial Pandemonium. On Takeru's side, many Oni fled. Takeru went to kill them, but something happened to his hand. An Oni attacked from front. Takeru killed it, but as it died, it turned into Kazeki. Takeru was shocked. How is Kazeki? The bellflower mark on his hand disappeared. All fleeing Oni looked like humans. He didn't understand what was happening, but many Shikigami arrived and started killing them as Oni, since they couldn't see they were humans. Then Yura and Asunaga came to destroy the world. Takeru jumped in. Stop! They said, what are you doing? We won Centennial Pandemonium, so we must destroy this place. Takeru said, can't you see? They're all humans. Abeno's assistant said, what is he doing? Abeno said, we'll see. Abeno appeared behind Takeru. They were shocked. Takeru too. How are you out here? Abeno said, you see all Oni as humans, right? He checked Takeru's hand. The bellflower star mark is gone. Takeru asked, is what I'm seeing an illusion? Abeno said, no, now you can see how this world works. Takeru didn't understand. Abeno said, this is withholding. Weak people's sacrifice keeps the strong alive. It's nature's way. Takeru got angry and punched. What are you saying? Abeno dodged. Takeru said, is this all you're doing? You're spouting nonsense. Then Yura came from the side, stabbing and saying, die, you Oni scum. Takeru didn't understand why Yura killed him, but we see Yura was still in Shikigami. They got angry seeing that and killed that Yura. As Takeru died, Abeno said, now you understand. Their deaths are sacrifices for people in another world. Okay, Takeru, meet me again. Takeru's power activated and he revived, but he didn't understand what happened. A man came. What's wrong with you? Takeru asked, where's the stage here? The man said, no stage here, and left. Takeru asked, is this Denji Henkyu? The man said, yes. Takeru wandered the city, but everything was changed. Vada passed by. Takeru asked, Vada-san, do you remember me? Vada said, no, who are you? Takeru asked about Suki Mia. Vada said, who's Suki Mia? Takeru asked about him. Vada said, everyone knows me. I run a hardware shop. Pointing to Abeno's poster, Takeru asked, who's that? Vada said, Semi-sama, head of Bureau of Onmyo. Takeru asked about Asunaga. Vada said, you don't know? He died in black mist, today's Onmyoji, and left. Takeru thought, I don't know what's happening. He saw the fire rat running to a height. Takeru followed and saw a desert with ruined Denji Henkyu-like debris. His mind broke. Abeno was watching him. He signaled his assistant, who started black mist, trapping Takeru. A Shikigami arrived. Takeru said, Asunaga, is that you? But it attacked him. He asked, well, why are you doing this? The Shikigami went to kill the crystal people. Another Shikigami threw it away. In the second were Yura and Kazeki. Yura asked, how are you moving in black mist? Kazeki said, maybe he's an Onmyoji. The first Shikigami attacked again. Yura fought it. Takeru didn't understand why Shikigami were fighting each other. So he activated Yasa mode and separated them. Then Abeno arrived. Narihira Takeru, you can see how this world works. Takeru said, you called my name, so you can time travel too. Abeno said, let me clear two misunderstandings. First, I don't know how to go back in time. In other words, I don't time travel. Takeru asked, then how do you know me? Abeno said, first the second thing. You don't time travel either. Takeru said, what nonsense. You can see I'm repeating the same thing over and over. But in the timeline where Suki Mia isn't, I'll change it. So I need to go to the past and change everything. Abeno explained, where you are now is a parallel world of Denji Henkyu. You said you time travel, but what you're saying is completely wrong. Whenever you die, some power sends you to another parallel world. Takeru was shocked that he was going to different worlds each time. Abeno added, I know this because I can see memories of my avatars in parallel worlds, and from that, I know how your power works. But then Takeru saw the Shikigami fighting again. Takeru asked, why are the Shikigami fighting each other? Is this your doing too? Abeno said, yes, it's my power. Let me explain. The bellflower star on your hand is gone, and because of it, the opposite person thinks the one in front is an Oni. Takeru said. That means all the Oni I killed were humans. Abeno said. Good, you understood. But the bellflower star's power isn't limited to that. The crystals you saw were humans too. Hearing this, Takeru got angry and activated Yasa mode to attack. Abeno said, I know how your power works. Doesn't work outside black mist at all, and extended his shield, trapping him inside, deactivating Yasa mode. Takeru asked, Why are you doing all this? Abeno said, I'm doing this to make this world's future better. Takeru said, Where does this look like a better future? And attacked. Abeno fought and explained, Don't you think if the coming future is bad, it should be changed? He grabbed him. I want to know what happened to Henkyu in your world. Takeru said, It's history. Why do you need to know? Releasing Takeru, Abeno said, I wanted to see how it feels to experience with time. So I took the responsibility and created 100 parallel worlds. I make those parallel worlds fight each other, so in the end, one parallel world remains that becomes the real world, and that world will be the strongest that can change its coming future. Takeru said, That means all the worlds I've been to so far are destroyed. Abeno said, Yes, you understood correctly. A lost Denji Henkyu merges into the winning Denji Henkyu, and this is the way to continue world with all. Now that you know the truth, if you come in my way, I'll kill you right here. Takeru, looking at the Shikigami, said, What will happen to them? Abeno said, I'll just watch. The rest is up to them. Didn't you take many lives to prove your love? Takeru went silent. Abeno said, In the end, you and I are on the same path. After that, the Shikigami destroyed the other Shikigami. Seeing this, Takeru said, Are you mad? Abeno said, I gave up sanity 1,000 years ago. And I'm interested in your abilities, so I'll research your power myself. And grabbed him to Bureau of Onmyoji. Takeru sat there thinking he couldn't do anything and cried. Then Abeno's assistant Kajura came with food and started leaving. Takeru asked, Do you know everything and it doesn't bother you? Kajura said, I have no interest in answering your questions. Takeru got angry. I'll never join you. You have no right to decide which future is right. Kajura started telling him. But then someone came and knocked Kajura unconscious. The person came to Takeru. It was Suki Mia. Takeru was shocked. Suki Mia said, I'll tell you everything. Come with me. Later, Kajura told Abeno Takeru escaped. Abeno understood it was Suki Mia. Meanwhile, Yura had a bad dream. Suki Mia took him to her hideout. Takeru asked, I don't understand what's going on. Suki Mia explained everything. Takeru asked, You know all this? Suki Mia said, Yes, I know, and I'm from the moon to stop Semi-sama from making this bad future. Takeru was shocked. Suki Mia added, Yes, I live in a city on the moon's surface 1,000 years in the future. Takeru didn't understand. Suki Mia explained properly that she came to Denji Hen using future technology. Takeru asked about it. She told about her future. Earth was no longer livable for humans. So humans decided to go to the moon and live there. Life there was completely boring. Then some Onmyoji came looking for them, so Suki Mia said, Let's change place. They left. Meanwhile, Yura went to Iruka's room. Iruka, have you seen those two? Talking about Suki Mia and Takeru. Iruka said, Yes, I saw a couple. Yura asked, Where? Iruka said, I saw you and Kazuki, and started talking like crazy because Kazuki was removed from his team. Yura grabbed him against the wall. He said, Kill me. But Yura explained, so Iruka calmed and told the way. Then Takeru and Suki Mia were talking. Suki Mia said, The place I lived had no humanity left. No clean air, nothing. Air was bought to live, and I was from a poor family. So I studied hard and became a scientist. With them, I made a technology to go to the past. But sending one person took many resources, so the project was closed. But after some time, a woman came and killed everyone and took all resources. Takeru felt bad. Suki Mia continued, When I felt my body dying, I used my brain and somehow reached the project. I knew World With All was running in Hen era, so I used full power to reach this time, and was reborn as a dancer troop girl. After that, I was dragged into World With All many times, but I can't give up. I'll stop this World With All. Takeru said, "But I still don't fully understand." Suki Mia took him to the destroyed Denji Henkyu. Suki Mia said, "I remember when you were running in Denji Henkyu that night." Takeru said, "You remember all this?" Suki Mia said, "Yes, I'm that one and I remember your promise. You saved me with full power many times, and you got stronger with time." Takeru said, "But whenever I met you, you didn't remember me." She said, "I acted that way so Semi didn't find out. I'm present in those worlds and I can share memories with them." Takeru remembered Abeno said the same. Suki Mia said, "Based on what I told you, we can stop Semi, and your power is completely different from On-Me technique. You can use it to defeat him." Takeru said, "But my power only works in Blacklist." She asked, "Did Semi say something about your power source?" He said, "Yes, he said I use world particles." She said, "Oh, so that's it. Then leave this little one," and the fire rat came out. On the other side, Abeno and his assistants, Abeno was telling them that when Takeru uses his power, he uses world particles. On the other side, with the fire rat's help, Takeru controlled world particles and activated Yasa mode. Takeru said, "This is great." Suki Mia said, "But when the fire rat uses world particles, its stamina depletes fast, so you'll have trouble keeping Yasa mode active for long." Then Yura arrived. "Are you with the Oni?" Her hand hurt because of the bellflower star, so she couldn't leave Denji Henkyu. Takeru tried to explain, but she didn't listen. But he requested, and then told her about Denji Henkyu. But Yura didn't believe, so he tried to explain. Then she understood and said, "I had a dream some time ago where I defeated an Oni, and it turned into Asunaga." Yura understood she killed Asunaga in another world. Then Takeru said to Suki Mia, "Suki Mia-san, you said you want to change the future. You're right. I think every person should make their own future. So we'll stop World with all together and I'll help you." They left, and Yura found the photo Takeru and others took before. She was shocked. Then in Gendo Tower, Yura came. "Tell me what's happening. What's parallel world? World with all? Where is Semi-sama? I need to ask him all this. Is it true Oni are Onmyoji from another world?" Hearing this, Kajura grabbed her and said, "You don't need to get into these things." Then a notification came, and Takeru and Suki Mia arrived near Gendo Tower. Suki Mia said, "This tower is linked to World with All. We need to destroy these towers." Takeru got ready and activated Yasa mode with Fire Rat's help. But Kajura appeared. "I won't let you do this." Takeru said, "You know everything, yet you're with him." Kajura attacked, so Takeru got ready to attack too. On the other side, Azuki entered Abeno's cabinet, but Yura was tied there. Back to the scene, Kajura was overpowering Takeru. Takeru went to attack, but Fire Rat's energy ended, and he returned to normal. Kajura took advantage and attacked, but before he died, Suki Mia came in between, taking all spears. Takeru asked, "Suki Mia-san, why did you do that?" Suki Mia said, "Because I'm alive in other worlds, so don't worry. I'm happy you care for every form of me in other worlds. I want to save the future, so please help me," and she died. Seeing this, Takeru screamed loudly. Kajura said, "Now I'll finish you too." Then Yura arrived. "Kajura, tell me, did the people who fought Oni make any difference? Did Asunaga's death make any difference?" Kajura cried, "Not for this Henkyu, but for the other one." Hearing this, Yura got angry. "Don't you have a heart?" and kicked her far. Kajura said, "I finished these feelings 1,000 years ago," and attacked Yura hard with spears. Then she advanced to attack. On the other side, Takeru saw the fire rat in energy and activated Yasa mode himself, stopping her attack, and attacked before she could again, injuring her. Taking advantage, Takeru destroyed the crystal on the Gendo Tower. Kajura said, "What are you doing?" Takeru said, "To save this world's people and to defeat Haraki, I'll do this." On the other side, Abeno was shown. His people said, "We got an alert, one Gendo Tower is broken." Takeru started destroying towers one by one and they couldn't stop him. Yura woke and saw Suki Mia's body. Abeno issued an alert in the whole Henkyu to gather people at one place. Then Abeno stood at a place waiting for him. Takeru arrived and the last tower of Denji Hen was left. Abeno asked, "What are you doing?" Takeru said, "I'm doing what's good for everyone." He understood, Suki Mia told him. Takeru said, Suki Mia-san said this is the only way to stop world mythal. Otherwise, the future will be affected. Abeno tried to explain. But Takeru didn't understand and activated Yasa mode. He said, seems you won't listen like this. Yura was going somewhere. Kazeki said, where are you going? You're injured. Yura said, we need to go underground. Tell me where Semi-sama's research lab is. But they didn't listen and started leaving. Yura stopped them and told everything. Then Yuka came. I believe her. She's telling the truth. Come with me. The fight between Takeru and Abeno was deadly, and his assistant was helping too. Yura told them everything, they said. So this is world with all. Iruka took them to a secret place with a door sealed by magic. He told Kazeki to apply power. Kazeki applied power and broke the gate. Abeno's assistant took him inside black mist and was attacking. But Takeru with full power came out of her attack and said, so you put everyone in black mist. She said, I hate people, and went to attack. She attacked 3-4 times, but Takeru defeated her easily and came out of black mist. The others reached Abeno's secret lab and read his research, which was on Centennial Pandemonium. The others came out of Denji Henkyu to continue their fight. So first Abeno got ready to attack him. He readied a deadly attack and threw on him, which was too deadly. Takeru couldn't stop it, and his both assistants were included because they were his power. Then he started continuous attacks on him. Takeru also tried to counter, but he wasn't giving chance to attack. Then he did a final attack which was very deadly, deactivating Takeru's Yasa mode, and started gravity pressure on him. Takeru encouraged the rat, we have to save this world and Suki Mia-san. It got motivated and with him activated Yasa mode again. Seeing this, Abeno was shocked. To stop him, Abeno repeated all those attacks. He thought he finished him this time. But Takeru came from behind and attacked, and with Fire Rat's help, converted his hand and punched him hard, worsening his condition. But Takeru saw he was still saving Denji Henkyu. Takeru asked, why are you acting like a good man now after those thousands of deaths? When you've done so much, why pretend to be good? Then Abeno said, I have no problem with sacrifice if it's for my goal, and attacked him. Then they had a fist fight. The others knew his research in depth. Takeru and Abeno were shown tired from fighting. Abeno said, I have to do this to change the future. Takeru got angry. What do you know about future? There's a lot in that thing you don't know. And started attacking him. But Abeno, remembering someone, punched him too. Takeru said, what's wrong with you? Say something. But Abeno stopped there. So Takeru lay beside him too and said, was this your first versus? He said, no, I fought one more before, 00 years ago. Takeru asked, why did you get sad? This reminded Abeno of that man. So Abeno said, I want to secure humanity's future, that's why I'm doing this. Then Yura and others arrived. They asked, please tell us too, Semi-sama, why did you start World with All? And what is this world line converge disaster? Abeno said, seems you know everything. Takeru said, what do you know? They asked him, what are you hiding from us? But before he could tell, feathers rained, and one fell on Abeno, causing something to him. Iruka and Kazeki went to him, but Abeno grabbed them and absorbed their power. Yura said, who are you? Abeno acted strangely. I didn't believe it would work, but I became Semi-sama. Thank you, Takeru-kun, you helped a lot, but acting like a girl. Seeing this, Takeru recognized and said, Suki Mia-san. Suki Mia said, good, you understood already. Takeru said, but how did you take over Semi-sama's body? You died. Suki Mia said, yes, my body died, but my mind was digitized. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can destroy the tower. And she did 5-star thunder on it, destroying the last tower. Yura said, what are you doing? She attacked her too, throwing her back. Then she killed the rat too. Seeing this, Takeru got angry. This can't be you, Suki Mia-san, and went to attack. But she said, Takeru, tell me what you know about me. He stopped and said, Suki Mia-san. She said, yes, I'm that one, and came to her real form. Takeru asked, but why are you doing all this? She said, because I love this Denji Henkyu too. Then she talked like mad. Do you know how fun it is to live in 100 worlds? Yura stood. Seems she's mad, but Suki Mia said, no, it's not like that. I enjoy all these things, but Abeno's world with all is obstructing my work because the creature that protects me will reach him one day if world with all continues. Then that creature arrived and started attacking all Denji. Takeru said, what do you want to do? She said, when the Tower of the Four Gods protecting Denji Hen are gone, this happens. Takeru understood why she asked to destroy the towers. Yura said, the city is destroying. Someone help. Takeru stopped her from doing all this, but Suki Mia said, Takeru, I'm thinking which world we'll meet in now, and Takeru died there too. After Takeru's death, the power activated again and brought him to another world. Takeru said, I don't know what mess I'm stuck in. He saw the world completely destroyed. He went to a place where many people were in line, and Abeno was killing them, and people were giving their lives to him willingly. Takeru thought, is this Suki Mia? He went and asked, are you Suki Mia? He said no. Takeru asked, what are you doing? Abeno said, this world lost Centennial Pandemonium, so it's ending. Takeru asked, is this related to world with all? Abeno said, yes, all people gathered here want a peaceful death, so they're giving their souls to transfer to another world. More people came. Takeru tried to stop them, but they didn't listen. Abeno took their soul with the device and sent to another world. Takeru said, I need the full story. Abeno started telling, this started almost 1,000 years ago, in the 6th year of High Era. That time I was known as an Onmyoji. Then I met a man named Unihito. Past shown where one guy was fighting another. One of them brought Abeno. Before Abeno calmed them, a guy came and it was Kunihito. He said, what's going on here? I'm a police officer, so I say stop this. But they mocked him, so he killed both. Seeing this, Abeno used paper device to drop the people involved and said, please calm down. Then he saw Kunihito didn't fall because he was standing with full power. He said, I won't fall to your magic. He said, this is on me technique, and left. Then back to present, Abeno said, he was stubborn and straightforward like you. Takeru said, why are you insulting me? Abeno said, I thought I wouldn't have anything to do with him later. But then past shown where in Bureau of Onmyo, they had a meeting. The chief said, Abeno Semi has predicted a big obstacle in 2 years, so we need to prepare. Who will be the leader? But no one came forward. Abeno came forward. The prediction I did is such that many people will die, and I don't care if you choose that future. Kunihito was standing there. He said, there's no such thing. Every future has a chance to change, so I'll do it. And they together made a dam on the riverbank. But every time something went wrong, and the dam couldn't be made. Abeno tried to check the future again, but every time the same future showed. So he went to them and told, I tried hard to change the future, but it didn't change. So no point in doing all this. Hearing this, Kunihito got angry and punched him. I thought humanity has limitless potential. Magician. He pushed him back. I said I'm an Onmyoji and punched him. Kunihito punched him. There's no future we humans can't change. Hearing this, he also started helping them. And after some days of hard work, the dam was ready with many talismans on it. The floodwater didn't come to their village. Then rain started, which lasted for many days. But after some time, the rain stopped, and the village was saved. Seeing this, people were happy. Abeno also thought the future changed. But then some feathers came and hit the water. The water started toward the village. Kunihito told everyone to run. Then he saw a girl fallen, so he went to save her. When the floodwater ended, Abeno went to Kunihito. Kunihito asked, is the girl okay? He said yes. He said, but I'm not okay. Seems your magic can't save me. Abeno apologized. He asked, why are you apologizing to me? Abeno said, because I saw how you would die. There was no flaw in the plan. I thought we changed the future together, but I don't know why and how this happened. But Kunihito encouraged him. Don't be so sad. I know you're doing something for all this. Use your magic and make the future you imagine. Right, Sammy? And died. Abeno said, okay, I'll do that, Kunihito. Then in present, Abeno said, after that, I predicted many futures where the future was fixed. Then I learned about a new technique, where breaking a coffin increases the world's capacity. In other words, parallel world is made from that coffin. Then he took him with him and said, I made many parallel worlds, but after some time, those parallel worlds ended because the only reason for that world's end was white feathers. So to save from them, I made 5 Tower of Gods, and after that I saw those worlds are not ending. After doing this, I started Centennial Pandemonium, so every world fights each other and increases its power. Takeru said, Why are you carrying such a big burden alone? You should learn to trust others. Abeno said, No point in explaining to them. Takeru said, Hey, idiot. Learn to face them. This reminded him of Kunihito, and he still said, I couldn't put such a big burden on them. Takeru asked, Then why did you tell me? Abeno said, Because with your power, I can reach the place from where the power comes to destroy this world. That is world-line converged disaster. Maybe with your power I can reach that place. And he bowed, Narahira Takeru-kun. I beg you for your power. Please help in my fight, Takeru asked. By the way, what is this power you want to save from? Then someone said it's the time bird. It's called Great Time Bird, and it was Suki Mia. And she said, Finally you found out, but you don't know one more thing. The time bird I have can destroy that future where the attack is happening. And in other words, the moment I told you its name, at that moment it activated to destroy Henkyu. Now it's coming here. And after that, that energy started destroying that world again. Suki Mia said to Takeru, You'll help him who killed so many people? Takeru attacked Abeno and said, I hate him, but for now I consider you my equal. Hearing this, they were shocked. Takeru said, Narahira family's rule, don't ignore a friend who needs you. He was more shocked. When did we become friends? Takeru said, When people fight face to face, they become friends. So let's stop world with all together. Seeing this, he joined him. And before that world ended, Abeno told him, Now the next world is the last one left, and killed him, so he went to the next world. But this time when he woke, he saw Suki Mia and Abeno fighting. And seeing this, the people there were cheering them. Takeru asked those people, What's happening here? They said, We found out Inu kept us in deception. Suki Mia-san told us all this. Finally, he understood they knew about world with all. Then he went to Abeno and said, Suki Mia-san is wrong too. But Suki Mia said, How can I be wrong? I gave freedom to all. He asked, Why did you think to do all this? She said, That for fun. So I thought by killing Sammy, I'll become the heroine. Takeru said, I won't let you do that. Suki Mia signaled, and many Onmyoji came and captured him. Takeru left saying, Haraki, don't give up. He said, Yes, I won't, and took out all his weapons. Suki Mia said, You can never defeat me. And they fought where Suki Mia was overpowering him. She said, Why don't you accept defeat? But then her one assistant spread black mist there, inside which they went. On the other side, the Onmyoji released Takeru and said, Forgive us for behaving like that with you. And then he removed his mask, who was Asunaga. He asked, So you're alive? He said, But wait, he doesn't know who I am. Asunaga said, I've met you, and showed Suki Mia's headband. Takeru said, Oh, so you're that one. Asunaga said, I don't know what happened to Suki Mia, and I know how you feel. King Takeru said, Did you win the full Centennial Pandemonium? Then Yura came. Now that Yakimiya is inside Black Mist, we should complete our plan now, and we were waiting for you because you're an important part of our plan. Finally, he understood these people are still on Abe's side. Yura explained, Because when I saw a dream where I was dying, that dream felt completely real, so I went out of NK and found this. And it was the same where that Yura recorded when the disaster was happening. And it had all info about Suki Mia too, but after knowing this, those people got angry on Abeno. So Abe said, Yes, you must hate me, but I can't stop now. Forgive me. Then Yura advanced to kill him, but his assistant stopped her. Abeno pushed her aside and said, I'll tell you everything. Asunaga and Yura said, We understand how much pain you endured for 1,000 years. So tell us what to do. Abeno thanked them and told everything that this is the last Denji Hen saved, and explained the plan that they have to reach Takeru to Timebird using subspace radar, and told him the whole plan. And on the other side, Suki Mia was overpowering Abeno, and they were watching all this with a device. So Takeru started to save him, but they stopped him and said, "You're an important part of the plan, so we can't let you go there." He said, "Can't you see he'll die?" Asunaga said, "We can see." And he was crying, and on the other side she was about to do the final attack. But then a cart fell there, and in it was Takeru, who came to save Abeno. Abeno said, "Why did you come here?" But he said, "I know the whole plan, but before that we need to do something. Come, we both run a Shikigami together." Abeno came near him and sat in the Shikigami. After that, they attacked Suki Mia, but the attack canceled and went through her. He didn't understand what happened, so he attacked many times, but no attack hit her, and because of trying many times, one attack hit her. He didn't understand how the attack hit her, but she attacked him before the next attack and destroyed their core. After that, she came down and said, "You were human, so I loved you, but you've become a monster." Suki Mia told him, "As I told you, I lived in a city on the moon where I studied and got a scientist degree. And after becoming a scientist there, I made a project and researched on humanity. There I learned that people used to live comfortably on Earth before, and my favorite was Denji Henkyu, which made me jealous of those people who were enjoying life. And at that time, I decided I'll live like them now. And I found Time Word, from which I can go back safely to my future. And it means the world where I'm the user. Even if this world changes, nothing happens to me. And I told you a woman killed everyone. She was me because I stopped caring, and after that, I came to this place. Now Ino understood she has been here since Unihito died. And you were doing all this, all disasters till now." She said, "It's your fault. You made 100 parallel worlds. That's why the Iron Bird couldn't take me back to future. It started destroying." So Takeru got angry on Roos and said, "Why did you do this with all these?" Suki Mia said, "No, this is all fine. I felt bad at first too, but living so many lives is so fun. But you know, as World Withal is advancing, my forms are ending, and the fun is ending too. So Duty-chan thought if all data comes to my brain at once, it can end. But I still want to continue World Withal now. But Semi wants to end it. And you, Takeru, you're the blood relative of the person in whom my mind was transferred. So this great time bird thought to protect you, and I exist in the world from where you are. And I called you to this world so I can use you to win here." Hearing all this, Takeru got angry and said, "Didn't you say you get happy seeing others' happiness from dancing here? Was it all lie?" She said, "Yes, it was true because I enjoyed dancing," and attacked both and came out of Black Mister. Then she started destroying Gundo towers. Abeno said, "Now everything is over." After that, Yura came there trying to save them, but she caught her and put a disease in Abeno which kills any person easily. But his body couldn't die, so he had a lot of pain. Seeing all this, Taker thought he can't do anything now. But then Fire Rat arrived. Seeing it, he said, "Is this you?" And that Fire Rat also wanted to help defeat Suki Mia, so he activated Yasa mode. Suki Mia said, "So that rat betrayed me." Then Takeru tried to attack her, but Time Bird saved her again. But then something happened that she saw Takeru's punch, and she canceled his attack again. Takeru said, "I'll land a big hit anyway." Then Abeno healed Yura and thought what happened that time the attack hit her. Then he understood what's happening here. Then Asunaga's call came, so he said, "Are you okay?" Asunaga said, "Yes, I'm fine, but I'm sorry. I couldn't save subspace radar, but before that, I found Time Bird's location." Abeno said, "You did great work." Then Asunaga told Yura, "You should go from here," and attacked Suki Mia. She said, "You know no attack will work on me." But he said, "This is something else," and controlled her. Then he told Takeru, "I've stopped it here. You go quickly to Asunaga and follow the plan from there." Then from him, his weapons came out too and said, "We will support Ino now, so you go." So Takeru left from there. Then Suki Mia came out of his effect, so her one assistant spread black mist. After that, Takeru reached Asunaga and saw his coordination. Then Abeno came in his mind and told him everything that you have to focus on your particle flow, from which you can imagine and reach that place. And he did so, reaching Time Word. And on the other side, Suki Mia was overpowering Abeno, but then his Peta started disappearing. She didn't understand what's happening. Now Inu understood Takeru is fighting it, and on the other side, Takeru is fighting. But Time Bird was canceling his every attack, and along with that, erasing Takeru's existence too. Takeru got tired attacking many times. Then he did an attack with full power, but it canceled that too and threw him far. Then it did a final attack on him, making him fall down, and his body was erasing too. And on the other side, Suki Mia got her power back. Then Takeru is falling down thinking everything, where his mom, dad, and others were encouraging him, because of which his body started regenerating, and he activated Yasa mode again, and came up and started fighting Time Bird. And he landed such a final attack that it was killed in one attack. And Eno did his final attack on Suki Mia, which she tried to stop but couldn't even with full power. After that, Takeru came out where Suki Mia was dying, and Takeru held her in his arms and said, "I know you were alone. So you thought about yourself, but when you danced, you got happy with everyone's happiness. And I understood how it feels not to be alone. But don't worry if there's even one possibility where I can save you. I'll definitely save you." And Suki Mia said, "Do you think anyone is having fun with this boring future?" But he said, "No, I'll give you a good future and I'll definitely save you." So Suki Mia said, "You're really stupid," and died. So he hugged her and cried. Then Abeno knelt and his body started erasing. Abeno said, "Seems my time to go has come. Yura and Asunaga, now I leave this world's responsibility on you." And then he completely erased. And now Takeru stayed in this world and opened a restaurant where he cooked for everyone. Then we are shown a place where small Suki Mia is running saved. And then some guy comes and saves her. And then he removes his hood and says, "I told you I'd save you." And it's Takeru. Here season 1 of this series ends. And comment to tell how you liked this series.